it's me again. Here's part 2 of the Daisuga Samurai series. Please enjoy. If you haven't watched part 1, please watch it first. Again, this is for the fun of fanfiction and I don't own the characters. Let us begin. Since that day, Daichi never acted the same as before. He avoided trips with Shuga when necessary. And one thing that hurt Shuga so much is that Daichi started called him Sugawara-sama instead of Kushi. There's not a day when Shuga didn't cry his whole night to sleep. One early morning, the birds are singing their old songs and the flowers welcoming the first rays of sunshine. Inside the tatami room beside the garden, the silver-haired boy stretched himself with a yawn. He looked through the gap between his wooden paper-made door and smiled. "I must do it better today," said the silver-haired boy. With that, he stood up in front of his mirror and made a large smile. But then, he couldn't help looking down at his toes sadly. He thought to himself, only 1 week to go. Why do you have to keep me waiting? I'm still waiting for you to say something. He flinched at the knock on his door and heard his maid calling Kushi-sama, asking him for breakfast. He broke his thoughts and smiled again, and he went out. After breakfast, he went out to visit one of his best friends, Akashi Keiji, the son of the prestige Akashi clan who lives a few streets away from him. "It's good to see you, Shuga. Come take a sit and have some tea." Akashi's maid carefully served them. "Thanks," said Shuga quietly. "You look pretty exhausted, Shuga. Is it because of the same matter?" "He still hasn't said anything about your engagement yet?" asked Akashi with a worried look. Shuga smiled sadly. "Daichi is always respectful towards my family. After all, his family has worked for us for almost 4 generations. He sees my father like his. Of course he respects my father's decision. I am not even sure if he feels the same towards me. It may all be one-sided after all. He's happy to be free from me. Can't you say something about it to your father? I'm sure he will understand," asked Akashi. Shuga shook his head and explained the engagement was made when I was born. The whole family have been waiting for this day, when I become the leader of the clan and take Miss Yamada as my wife. I can't betray their expectations. Still, 1 word from Daichi and I probably could die for him," chuckled Shuga sadly at the ironic comment he made. Akashi could see his hands trembling. Shuga could no longer hold his smile and tears started streaming down his face. "Goodness, I told myself to do better today. I cried again. I'm so useless. I think I will go now. I have my sword skills lesson now. I will see you, Akashi. Thanks for the tea." Before Akashi could stop him, he rushed out of the room out of embarrassment and took leave. Akashi is worried, but at the same time, he can totally understand Shuga. After all, he himself is also involved in an unbreakable family engagement since he was born. He has no choice to, just like Shuga. When Shuga arrived home, he wiped his tears and got ready for his lesson. When he opens the classroom door, however, he was shocked to see his crush, the person he has been in love with since he's a child, standing there with an angry face. "Sugawara-sama, I told you to ask me to come with you wherever you're going. You will soon be the leader of your clan and you're just out there walking defenselessly. I am your bodyguard. I have to protect you." Daichi continued the lecture for another 5 minutes and Shuga can't help but turn his shock to a grin. "Haha, you look just like my mom, Daichi. Would you stop? Haha. I am not defenseless. I brought my sword with me. I am not a child anymore. I can defend myself." With that, the grin on his face cooled down to a mere pout. "You can be free," Shuga whispered, but Daichi doesn't seem to hear him. "Well, anyway," Daichi said, "your teacher has to go back home for an emergency. So I will practice with you for these few lessons." Sugawara panicked hearing this. "What the fuck? That means I have to be with him all day long. I can't really bear this. I will wanna hug him, pin him to the wall and just tell him 1,000,000 times I want him." But Daichi interrupted his thoughts by handing him his sword, and their practice began. This is the end of part 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Part 3 will be here in no time.